the theme song? Hold on, audience. Hold on. Why isn't the theme song? I can't hear it. Hold on, audience. No, the theme song isn't sounding out. Let's see, do I have something? Oh, I have to start the show without the theme song? How will I ever do that? Hold on, audience. Hold on. Volume is up. Oh, my goodness. This has never happened. It says it's playing. Have patience with me. It says it's playing, but I don't hear nothing. Well, guess what? The show must go on without the theme song. The show must go on. Hold on a second. Let me try it one more time. One more time with the theme song. Why isn't that playing? I have it on. Speaker, yes. And see, this is why I need an engineer. Okay, all right, well, go with the flow. Reality, spirituality. Oh, welcome, everyone. Welcome to Reality, Spirituality. That's it. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host, Rebecca L. Norrington, the only, well, I don't know if I'm the only, but global leading happiness specialist, inner peace practitioner, oracle, but most importantly, a student. Student of what? Student of the universe, always learning, always growing, always changing, always evolving. And in fact, this week, just to share a little bit of insight, just this week, someone, I'll give his name. His name is Henry Cameron. Shout out, Henry. And we were talking on the phone, and I said something about higher consciousness. And he says there's no such thing as higher consciousness. And thinking about it, higher consciousness, lower consciousness, it's just one consciousness. And you know what? Yeah, I'm going to change. I'm going to switch. I'm going to change it up. He's right. One consciousness. And that is the example. That is an example of what I'm talking about when I say practice and be different. In fact, let me ask you this question. Oh, gee, I'm starting the show without even a good introduction. Well, scratch the good. I'm starting the show without an introduction to who I am and what kind of show is this. But one of the things that I ask the audience or anybody that's interested, if you are interested in experiencing more happiness. And when I say happiness, it's not about something happens and now I'm happy. No, this happiness that I'm talking about is a personal vibration, an energy of peace and contentment regardless of what happens. That's what I'm talking about. And so I do a lot of monitoring, and I'm going to ask you this question, my dear audience. How are you different? How are you different? What beliefs have you questioned? What beliefs have changed in the last 6 months? And then I'm going to ask you, how are you different? What beliefs have changed in the last 3 months? And then I'm going to ask you, how have you changed in the last week, the last 2 weeks? Always keep a monitor. It's like having a heart monitor. Always have a monitor on your growth and being aware and being conscious of, wow, I'm not focused on that anymore. No, that's not as important as it used to be. In fact, let me give you let me give you an introduction. Before I go on, welcome everyone. Welcome. I am live on my YouTube channel. YouTube channel, Rebecca Norrington. Also live on StreamYard, but YouTube channel, Rebecca Norrington, and also live on Blog Talk Radio. So if you have a question, that's the name of the show, Ask Rebecca. The number to call in to Ask Rebecca is 646-564-9619. Again, area code 646-564-9619. Call in, and if you are listening on the app Noom Vibe, you know what to do. Just ask to join the conversation. And this is going to be an Ask Rebecca show. I welcome all of your questions. I welcome all disagreements, and I do not say that I am the expert and pretend to know all the answers, but what I will tell you is I've been studying this topic of happiness for 45 years. Did she say 45 years? What a waste of her life. 45 years. And in fact, if you've listened to me, there's a gentleman that I reference quite often. His name is Walter O'Brien. You can Google him. He's worth $50 million. He IQ 197. He's the inspiration for the CBS show Scorpion. And we met back in September 2021, and he told me to my face, that I was wasting my time. I wasted my life. I wasted 35 years of my life studying happiness. Happiness is delusional and an illusion. He said I was toxic, selfish. What else did he say? Oh, happiness can't be measured. Therefore, it's meaningless. Something to that effect. And after I laughed and to his face, and I said, please, share what you believe. Be honest. I love when people are direct. Just tell me what you think, because one of the things that I practice is not taking anything personally. This is not personal. This world is not, this universe, the nature, it's not personal. So the practice is to not take anything personally. And when I say happiness, let me give you a brief definition, my definition. Happiness is the ability to vibrate an energy of peace and contentment regardless of what happens and regardless of what doesn't happen. Happiness is the ability to vibrate an energy of peace and contentment. I get a lot of grief. I get a lot of emails. I got a lot of pushback last week. Someone wrote a post so long, happiness, people searching for happiness are weirdos. Yes, I will admit, weirdo. Names, you can't insult me and you can't compliment me. You can't offend me, but it is a practice. And what do you practice? Thanks for asking. Not to market, but the latest book, Program for Unhappiness, the one that has been published, the one I published in May, Program for Happiness, Exposing the Untold Truth. If you're watching me on YouTube, I am showing the book. And this week, the book went, it's a bestseller and also an international bestseller. But let me just say, that means absolutely nothing, because now there's a formula. There's a formula that you can use on Amazon to achieve that bestseller. I don't know if anybody knows that, but I'm letting you know that there is a formula, and there are some people that know how to work the formula, and it is so. I'm not saying that it's easy to do, but it's. Let me back up a little bit. When the book went to Amazon bestseller this week, just a couple of days ago, Amazon bestseller, international Amazon bestseller, people were contacting me, congratulations, Rebecca, oh, good work, and all your hard work paid off. And I'm not poo-pooing all of the compliments and all of the love and all of the hugs and all of the warm wishes. I had to tell the lady that I was working with on this, getting it to be a bestseller, that things like achievement, an award, this is an example. I told her, I said, if someone said to me, we want you to speak and we're going to give you $1 million. We're going to give you $1 million to speak. I'm not going to have an emotion behind that. I'm not going to, oh, great, yeah, finally I reached my goal. Because if something external can make me feel great, then something external can also make me feel depressed. The practice is not to allow scratch the allow. External things do not matter. And a lot of people are disappointed. Scratch that. The masses are disappointed with practicing eliminating the programs for a variety of reasons, and everybody's so different. I say we are as different as our fingerprints. And the excitement, I'm not some stone. I'm not a stone walking through this life not feeling anything. I feel things that are different than man-made, man-created things. When things that are heartfelt. That, in other words, one person just texted me a couple of days ago, welcome home, because I just joined this community of authors. Welcome home, Rebecca. And it was so loving that you could feel the energy on the text. And I teared up, but here we go. Let's get even deeper. I wasn't crying because of what I read on the text. The program is to attach a story to all emotions and all feelings. I'm feeling this way because. I responded this way because. And I'm here to tell you that that's just not true. Scratch that. That is a program. I'm going to let that go with it, not true. But that is a program. And the masses attach a reason, a story for all emotions and feelings. And I'm here to call you on it. The book is called Program for Unhappiness, Exposing the Untold Truth. This has been said by plenty of professional athletes. In fact, Deion Sanders said he won a Super Bowl. I think he was with San Francisco. I know he won a Super Bowl with Dallas and San Francisco. I think this is the time that he won with San Francisco. Anyway, he said he just won the Super Bowl, and that night or the next night, he contemplated suicide. So it's not about anything external, and that is the misinformation that is out there, that if you accomplish your goals, then I'll feel this way. Well, you might feel ecstatic. You might feel exhilarated for, a minute or two, maybe even a day, maybe 2 days, maybe a week. But sooner or later, that feeling is going to wear off. And so what do you do when that feeling wears off? And especially with the program telling you that when I achieve this, I'm going to feel so good. In fact, the achievements are for a good feeling. That's success. Well, if you ask me, success is living in the present moment, is the ability to live in the present moment. Enlightenment means I know the truth. The truth of who I am, identifying with the ego, identifying with the human? No. Identifying with God, identifying with the universe, presence, awareness, consciousness? Yes, that's where the contentment is going to be found. It depends on what entity you are identifying with. And my new practice is I'm going to eliminate saying I, because this Rebecca Norrington, this person is very limited in what she can comprehend, very limited in her likes and dislikes, has a lot of preferences. Oh, and thinks there are wanted moments and unwanted moments. Recognizing the truth that you, me, are consciousness having a human experience. That's it. Soon we're going to wake up and all this shit's going to be over. If you want to speak with me live, especially if you're on Noon Vibe, or if you want to call in, because this is Ask Rebecca. This isn't Rebecca keep talking. Ask Rebecca. The number to call in is area code 646-564-9619. If you want to speak with me live, 564-9619. And if you are on the Noom Vibe app, ask to join the stage. And if nobody asks to join the stage, guess what? I've got my own questions to ask myself. Well, they're not my questions. I've been teaching the Truth About Happiness classes for over 15 years. I taught the classes in California and Roseburg, Oregon, and now at UNLV in Las Vegas. And when I say UNLV in Las Vegas, it's the OLLI division, which is the division for the elderly, the division for us seniors, the senior generation. Let me just get off this track just for a second and veer to the right. I was looking at a video on YouTube, and this young lady, she was in her early 40s, and she made a video. I should have written the title down. Did I take a picture? Yeah, I did take a picture of her channel. I subscribed to her channel, and she said she was in her car, and she said, I was inspired. God told me to tell you, all you people over 50. God told me to tell that I have a message for all you people that are over 50. Now, I'm over 50. I'm 68, soon to be 69. Don't tell anybody in December. Oh, the numbers. It's just the number. And she said, we need, us youngsters, we need guidance. We need your wisdom. We need what you know. Can you help the younger generation out? Can you help us with some advice? Can you help us with some life experience? And I said, hey, I like this youngster. Yes, I can. So that's why I'm sharing, and I'm not saying that I know everything about the topic, but I do know a lot. Program for unhappiness. What are you talking about? What is a program? Let me give you an example. There are, in the book, I list 55 program behaviors that have been proven to subtract from your contentment, your happiness, your joy, whatever term you want to use, because that's another thing. This thinking that words have power. I know I get, ooh, wee. I should walk around with a bulletproof vest on. Ooh, wee. Words, of course words have power. Okay, well, words innately do not have power until the individual, until the programmed individual determines the type of power that the words have. But can you imagine not ever being offended, not ever having your feelings hurt, not ever someone telling you or calling you names and, okay, having it bounce off of you like Teflon, having it slide off of you like Teflon. Can you imagine living like that? Well, if I can do it, and I can, because it's a practice, 45 years of it, if I can do it, you can do it. But the practice begins and ends in the mirror. And that's one of the reasons, which I found over 15 years of teaching these classes, that there are not a lot of people, very few people, 2% of people that want to, are willing to run to the mirror for solutions. Oh, thank you. Usually the solution is always out there. And in fact, shout out to all my people that do a lot of analyzing. In your head you're analyzing. But guess what? You're analyzing a solution. You're analyzing with a program. How can you analyze something with only one perspective? The ego can only manage one perspective. How can you come up with a solution using the same tainted information that isn't true? And the ego cannot talk unless you give it a voice. The ego cannot behave unless you give it permission to behave. And oh boy, I know, the ego slips out, sleeks out sneaks out. But I'm aware of it now, so aware, and I invite you, my dear audience, to practice being aware, practice responding to life as opposed to reacting to life. Let me get back to this programming. Happiness, inner peace, contentment are all practice skills. And like any other skills, the more you commit to the practice, the better the results. So ask yourself, are you ready to prioritize the vibration, the energy of contentment, the energy of peace, the energy of satisfaction? Because in any moment you are either vibrating an energy of satisfaction or dissatisfaction. That's it. Are you satisfied? Are you vibrating satisfaction in the moment, or is the present moment not enough? Do you need more than what is unfolding in the present moment? That's a practice. This is wanting. This desires, wanting. You know what wanting brings? More wanting. So my practice is, I only desire what God, what the universe has planned for me. My hands are off the steering wheel. I'm in the passenger seat. I'm looking out the window, and I'm enjoying the journey. Whatever the will of the universe is going to be my will. Because what happens if my ego has a desire, if my ego has a want, but it is opposite of what my destiny is? What happens and when I say I'm talking about the Rebecca I, when I have a want and a desire, but the universe hasn't signed off, do you think that want and desire is going to happen? Absolutely not. And that's why I gave up. I'm not making any goals. I don't have any 2-month goals other than to be aware, stay aware, practice awareness, practice living consciously. That's it. And believe it or not, I know you've heard it. Things just start happening. People just start connecting, opportunities start, and even if the opportunity doesn't happen, that's okay too. One of the biggest programs is the belief that time can be wasted. Time can be wasted. No. That's an illusion. That's a program. That's a human program that time can be wasted. I don't buy into it. Time is unlimited. It's infinite. There's no such thing as wasting time. That's another program. But I know you humans. I'm just letting you know. I've graduated. But let me get back to the program behaviors. How are you, my dear listener, my dear audience? Are you committed to prioritize? Are you serious about wanting to experience this vibration of contentment? There's a very famous study it's called the 5 Most Common Regrets of the Dying. I always start the show like that. I get a lot of new people following, and the 5 Most Common Regrets of the Dying, number 1. I wish I would have pursued my dreams and aspirations and not the life others expected of me. I wish I would have pursued my dreams and aspirations and not the life others expected of me. Number 2, I wish I didn't work so hard. I follow this gentleman online. His name is Billy Carson. Brilliant. He's done so much research. I like him. I know a lot of people. Hey, listen. That's another thing. Boy, people can hate. Haters going to hate. Thank you, Taylor Swift. Haters going to hate. So many haters, and that's why I don't read comments, and that's why I have comments disabled. No, I'm not going to. I'm not interested in what you think about me. I'm interested in what God thinks about me. Number 2, I wish I didn't work so hard. I brought up Billy Carson. maybe 3 years ago, scratch that, 3 days ago, he posted with his wife. The title of the video is The Day Billy Carson, or something about Billy Carson almost died. Billy Carson faced death. And it was serious. He was giving a tour in Turkey, and he came down with virus. Come to find out, he had pneumonia. It was a few days of being weak. Finally, when he got back to the States, they said rushed him right into the emergency because one of his lungs was almost filled. In fact, he was 10 points. What is it? Septic shock. If you get to 40, you're dead. He was at 30, so he was really going in and out, feeling sick, overwhelmed. We found out he had pneumonia, IVs. So now he's getting a renewed perspective on life, because this guy, talk about a workaholic. In a matter of months, he's flown across the country. He flies out of the country, and he said, you know what? I'm done with that. I'm slowing all of this down. So that's number 2. I wish I didn't work so hard. Number 3, I wish I had he should have called me. I would have told him he's working too hard. But he didn't call me. Maybe next time. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings and speak my mind. Number 4 is I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. And number 5 is I wish I would have been happier. Mic drop. I wish I would have been happier. And that's where I come in. Sharing happiness, contentment, peace are all practice skills. Does anybody want to call in and ask me a question? Come on now. If not, I can continue on, but I love to answer questions. Oh, here we go. Area code 272. Do you have a question? Let's check and see. Area code 272. You are now. If you don't want to be live, just let me know, and then I will definitely just put you back on mute. If you want to be live on the show, let me know. Hello? 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 Okay, well, I'm going to put you back on mute. And let's see, how do we do that? We do this, and let me go on with the show. If you want to speak with me, just press the number 1. The call-in number, again, is area code 646-564-9619. Okay, back to the show. And if you want to join the stage on Noon Vibe, come on, you know what to do. Questions. Now, these are questions. This is homework assignment. This is my current class. It's called The Truth About Happiness. And I call the students that come back. This is my 5th semester teaching. I call the students that come back to the class over and over again. I call them returning stalkers. Not students, stalkers. And I say that with love and fun and humor. And this is their homework. Let me share with you. And again, if you want to speak with me live, that person hung up. If you want to speak with me live, the number is area code 646-564-9619, 646-564-9619. And let's go right into the questions. Let's see. These are returning stalkers. Returning stalkers, I mean students. List 3 behaviors. And I talked about this at the beginning of the show when I said monitor your growth. How are you different? How are you different than you were 3 months ago? How are you different? And I mean specifically, give me something that is tangible. How are you different than you were a week ago? That's how fast this growth can happen. I said I stopped saying higher consciousness. That was just 2 days ago. So here we go. List 3 behaviors you've implemented that have provided you more peace. And this person says meditation, listening more, and analyzing. Well, we're going to have to go back to this analyzing. That whole analyzing, who's doing the analyzing? The ego or the awareness? I don't think awareness, I don't think presence, I don't think consciousness analyzes, but I digress. Before attending the Truth About Happiness classes, list 3 beliefs that you had that weren't true. And the student lists 1 belief, thinking people wanted my opinion. Wow. See, these kind of things just make me want to I get all verklempt. How often are you practicing living in the present moment? And the student says, most of the time. What do you do now when you're triggered? Ooh, can you imagine never being triggered again, never getting your buttons pushed? You know that if your buttons are pushed, that's your fault. You're in charge of your own buttons. You're responsible for your own buttons. And in fact, it's an illusion to think that someone else can make you feel a certain way. That's just another program. Oh, you hurt my feelings. Oh, you're so inconsiderate. Oh, you're so rude. All that's on you. There's no such thing. You see why I don't have any friends? Okay. How do you know? Oh, what do you do now when you're triggered? Here we go. Let it go. Avoid the problem. I don't talk. I let the person go on. I let the person go on and on and on. Traffic horrors. I wave them on. Okay, so this person used to be one of those wonderful road rage individuals. How many out there are angry when you're driving and you're mad at the person that's not driving the right way? I'm going to use air quotes, right way. That's a big one. Know that whatever anger or irritation that you're feeling when you're driving has nothing to do with the drivers around you. Well, what are you talking about? That's not true. Whatever is in your cup is going to spill out. If you have anger, if you have annoyance, if you have sad, whatever is inside of you is going to spill out. Do not believe it's because someone else behaved a certain way. That is just not true. But nobody's talking about that, are they? Briefly describe how your relationships have changed since taking the Truth About Happiness classes. Be specific. And this student said, letting things go if it's not important. Well, that's one of the program behaviors. That's level 3. I didn't mention that. When I say I have 55 program behaviors to eliminate, there are 3 different levels. Level 1, those are for my civilians. Shout out civilians. I used to call them robots, but I'm nicer now. Civilians. Then there's level 2 for people that have a little bit more, do a little bit more reading, a little bit more knowledge in the spiritual family. And then there's level 3. And level 3 is having an energy of, or believing or thinking, having energy that something is important, something is serious. This is serious. This is important. And all that energy behind that is a program, is a judgment. You're making a judgment that this is serious. That's another program. The practice is to eliminate each program. Letting things go. Okay, briefly describe how your relationships have changed since taking the Truth About Happiness classes. Letting things go if it's not important, especially if it's not going to make a difference. I let go of everything I have no control over. If I don't have control over it, it's not even in my focus. It's not even on my radar. No control. Briefly describe how have you changed since taking the Truth About Happiness classes. I don't let the little things get to me as much. And here we go. This is a question. List a current challenge. The answer is procrastination. Well, let me share this. This procrastination is another program. What? No, it's real. I keep procrastinating. I don't want to do that, so I'm procrastinating. And then you beat yourself up for procrastinating, and then the whole, and then it's a whirlwind. It's just a quicksand of thinking. I heard when I was younger, I heard this word over and over and over again until I believed it, that I was lazy, that I never, that I wasn't doing my best, that I could have done better. That's with the grades. If I got a B, why wasn't it an A? Oh, it was a brutal, brutal childhood, she said, tongue-in-cheek. But getting back to the procrastination, I used to believe that I was a procrastinator, and I'm here to embrace all procrastinators with love and acceptance and to let you know that you are not procrastinating. What you are doing is, you ready? Put your seatbelts on. What you are doing is you are just not inspired at that moment. It hasn't inspired you to the point of action. This procrastinating, and the procrastinating has such a negative judgment to it, doesn't it? Doesn't that word have a negative judgment? You're a procrastinator. It sure isn't a compliment. But I'm here to tell you that this is my belief, this is my perspective. It just means that I'm not inspired to take action. I'm not a procrastinator anymore, but you know what? I've embraced that lazy thing. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with whatever you call me. You want to call me lazy? I'll admit it. I love it. In fact, I wear my lazy. I'm going to get a lazy flag. Everybody's flying flags. I'm going to get a lazy flag. I'm going to start a lazy club. Who's with me? Laziness should be celebrated, not shunned. And does anyone want to come up and ask a question, or does anybody want to come up and comment on New Vibe? You're welcome. And if you want to speak with me live, the number is, this is Ask Rebecca. Nobody's asking me anything. But that's okay, because one of the things that I practice is having zero expectations. No expectations, ever. Okay. Another student lists 3 behaviors you've implemented that have proven to provide more peace for you. Here we go. Number 1, reading and watching more videos. Oh, now see, I'm already feeling this. Reading and watching more videos by people who promote the ideas we talk about. Dr. Joe Dispenza, Eckhart Tolle, Moji. If anyone hasn't watched any of Moji's videos, Mooji, on YouTube, oh, you are missing out. This man is on another level. Is on another level of peace and contentment. Okay, number 2. What behaviors have you implemented? Number 2, try to stop and respond before reacting. Surrendering, I don't always have to be right. What a good answer. Ooh, I love that answer. I'm just having a moment of gratitude, and if you want to throw a compliment my way, the compliment is, Rebecca, I never thought about it like that. Thank you. I never had that different perspective. Thank you. You don't even have to tell me thank you. Just, Rebecca, I never thought about it like that. Before attending the Truth About Happiness classes, list 3 beliefs that you had that weren't true. What great students. Oh, by the way, these students are all in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Yes, there are students that are 90 years old searching, looking for happiness. How often are you practicing living in the present moment? I try to practice every day, but not always successful. Often have to tell myself to stop thinking and just be present. Oh, now I'm getting chills. That is a big one. The constant chatter, and I have it too, even with all of this practice, the constant chatter that is never ending. It is just the ego wanting attention, wanting focus, wanting to be identified with, wanting to have you consumed with thought and stories. It happens to me. So how do you practice living in the moment, staying in the present moment? Just practice naming everything that you're looking at. Tree, plant, camera, laptop, cell phone, water bottle, cup. It is never ending. Because the ego will snap. I call it taking me hostage. But the presence is never taken hostage. But when the ego has my attention, what is just all in between, all in my head, and the stories and the thoughts are never ending, which happens all the time, just snap. Back to the present moment, back to the present moment, back to the present moment, back to the present moment. Just keep practicing. And the more you pursue it, the more you practice it, the more you remain diligent to the practice. You know that with a lot of practice, it's going to pay off. What is the saying that it's one drop of water on a rock over 1 million years, even though we don't live to be, of course we live. Well, our consciousness lives. But that one drop of water, just keep doing it. Give yourself an A+ for being aware. The awareness is the work. Let's see what else they said. How often, I said that already. What do you know, here we go. What do you do now when you're triggered? I try not to react immediately. I tell myself it's not personal. You see, I just get chills with this. Briefly describe, how, let me get some water. Hold on a second. This is reality spirituality. Water break. And I'm going to share with you the correct way to drink water. Water bottle to lips, 2 gulps. After you drink 2 gulps, you smack your lips, and then you say, ah. Let me try it again. I'll put everything together. There's 4 steps to it. Let's see. No, water to lips, gulp, smack, ah. Let's try it together. Grab your water bottle. Here we go. Water bottle to lips. You see, and goofiness, I highly recommend it. Crazy, goofy, corny, wacky, off the wall, make it up. That's a high vibration. Whenever you feel stuck in some type of emotion that you seem that you're going around and around and around, if you're angry, start singing. If you're burnt out, start walking. If you're overthinking, write. If you're anxious, breathe. If you're stressed, exercise. If you're sad, gratitude. Practice gratitude. And I'm reading this. I just saw this today. And if you're lazy, that's us. That's me. Lazy, what's the answer? Cold shower. Hell no, I'm not getting a cold shower. Impatient, I'm just going to have to be lazy. Impatient, reflect on your progress. That's another program, though, being impatient. Okay, where was I? Back to the homework assignments. And you know what? Let me just do that. Let me share. If you want to speak with me live, the number to call in is area code 564-9619, area code 646-564-9619. I'm live on YouTube if you want to say hello. Rebecca Norrington YouTube channel. And and the Noom Vibe, if you want to join the stage, come on now. Come on. Let's see this. Hold on a second. What is this? Oops. Okay. Maybe I didn't have the volume up with that. Okay. Briefly describe how your relationships have changed since taking the Truth About Happiness classes. I'm much less likely to be drawn into arguments, which makes things calmer and more peaceful. How many of you out there are arguing? How many of you out there argue? Don't tell anybody. I was the queen. I probably could win a Guinness World Record of how much of just the arguments and how much I love to argue. I love to express how right I am, how right I was. It was one of my things to do. Probably I don't remember a day. Well, I don't remember anything, but it was a rare time when there was a day that went by that I didn't have an argument with somebody. That's right. That's who I used to be. Scratch the I. That's who Rebecca used to be. Briefly describe how you've changed since taking the Truth About Happiness classes. I often ask myself now if I want to choose peace or drama, or if I'm choosing peace or drama. So in any moment, before you react, before you respond, or however you're going to display your way of communication, you have a choice. Ask yourself, is what I'm going to say going to cause peace or drama? In fact, where is that? Here we go. I don't see a reference as to who quoted whose quote this is, but it's before you speak, let your words pass through these 3 gates. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? What a great practice. List a current challenge. Okay, and they write, not letting hubby's negativity bring me down. Good one. And let's dive into that. It's never about the other person, but the programming is to always look at the other person and place blame on the other person. It's them. They're the problem. It's not me. It's not the person in the mirror. It's them. And I'm here to bust it all open. It's not them. It's you. Woo! No wonder. No friends. One of the things this is Moji's quote. Find him on YouTube. It's true that what you believe is what you believe, but it's not necessarily true that what you believe is truth. I just like him so much. Let me say this. This is supposed to be Ask Rebecca, and nobody's asking me anything. But, again, one of the practices is not having any expectations, and I didn't expect anybody to ask me so. But if they do, great, and if they don't, that's okay too. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look at one of these questions that I published in the latest book, Program for Happiness, Exposing the Untold Truth. Let me find a short question, because I'm about to wrap. It's 50 minutes? How the hell can I talk and nobody's talking to me so long? Okay, let's see. What's a good one? Dear Rebecca, hold on, my dear audience. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This is a good question. Dear Rebecca, I have some questions for you and would appreciate your insights. How is it possible just to stay present when it feels like unlimited potential presents itself? Potential is futurizing, I get that. But how is it possible to just stay present in an experience when potential feels so real? See, this is a whole program right here. Potential feels so real. To who? To who? Who are you talking about? Your human self? Your humanness? And what about when a plan is in place and people are working toward a goal, but then one person bails? Is believing in potential the same as having expectations? Yes. I was in a musical collaboration that was the absolute best of my life. We were writing A-list songs together. I played guitar and percussion, but in this duo I was playing congas and the djembe, D-G. You see, I haven't even read my whole quote. D-J-E-M-B-E. Speaking of reading from my book, I was going to read my book, to create an audio version, and then I found out that the audiobooks, they have a lot of requirements that you can't go higher above a certain decibel, and you can't go lower. And that's just not going to work for me because my voice fluctuates. It goes, and I need that expression. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll figure it out. I really don't want anybody else reading my book. But guess what? That's the ego. That's Rebecca. Rebecca doesn't want anybody reading her book. You see how you can separate the two? Okay, best musical collaboration. We were about to professionally record our first CD. I already had been offered a venue for our first concert. We had a beautiful cafe, and that offered space for our CD launch and our musical performance. So this person had a lot. Number one, this is another program, living in the future. Number two, having expectations of what's going to happen, looking forward to the future, looking forward. And I'm here to tell you that you're just setting yourself up for disappointment and heartbreak. And can you be disappointed and heartbroken and content at the same time? I say no. We've been playing consistently every week to work up the material for the CD and the concerts. It was truly the most joyous experience of my entire musical career. Wow. This person is putting a lot on this experience. And let me just throw in the solution right now. The solution is, that's why savoring every moment, the practice of savoring every moment is important. There was here we go. When I was in California, I'm a fitness instructor, and I used to teach the spinning classes, cycling classes. Yeah, this was a while ago. And I'm in the front of the class, and there was this gentleman, and he was really athletic. There was a gentleman in the back of the class, and a transparency here, and he was, gave me the eye, and I gave him the eye, and a little double eye, and I'm in the front of the class, and I faced the mirror, so all he could see was my ass, and so a little spark was brewing in the class. Now the spark was brewing for a while. He came to class all the time, but that was just for that moment. It was fun in the class. It was fun to flirt. It was fun to be, It was fun, when I walk around the class and checking the students' form and walking around and, all of that. Yeah, that was a great time. But there was a time when all of that was over. There was a time when I moved out of state. I moved to Oregon, and all of that fun and all of that hot, it was over. Next moment. So the experiences, this is one of my practices, rejoice quickly and recover quickly. Times, moments are going to be over. So now all of this person is so disappointed. It was the best time of her musical career. I had never felt so matched in a collaboration as I did with this guy. Okay, so she was a woman. And I had never felt, well, I already knew that, and I had never felt so much unlimited potential for our music as I did in this experience. You see all of the buildup? The ego is so, it has all of the justification, all of the evidence of why I should, and I'm using that word, should be disappointed. If this isn't a perfect example of living in the moment and letting, when the moment is over, letting the moment go, I don't know what is. He told me excitedly about the mics he was going to use on my drums that would even make them sound more stellar on the recording. He told me how unbelievable it is that we created 2 A-list songs in just 2 sittings. There were so many things that were positive. Everything seemed to be moving forward. This past week was my birthday, and my birthday dinner, she gave him his name, his first name. Glenn gave me a card with a picture of an umbrella. The inside of the umbrella was a beautiful sky and puffy clouds. You can tell she's a writer. He told me he had ordered his umbrella for me for my birthday, but it hadn't arrived yet. 3 days later, he told me he changed his mind and he didn't want to be in a musical partnership with me anymore. Done. Gone. He just wanted to do his own thing. Why am I smiling? Emotional whiplash. Wow. I'm still sitting with major disappointment. I'm shocked. Disappointment comes from having expectations. What does this mean for life? What does this mean in life? To go through life without caring about outcomes? That's right. Practice detaching from all outcomes. Detach from people, detach from outcomes, detach from everything. All attachments subtract from your contentment. Is it humanly possible, or is this just for a few select who spend their lives in mountains but never have to interact with people? You see, these poor monks in the caves, these monks in the caves get a bad rap. No, I'm out here amongst the people, and I have zero expectations, but it's been a practice. I don't want to feel the feeling of disappointment and heartbreak. So it's up to me to practice eliminating all expectations. And if I do have an expectation, I can feel it. It's a pea under the mattress. I can feel it. But it comes back to the person. It comes back to the individual. When you practice eliminating all expectations, and what I get with this is always the same thing. Oh, that's hard. In fact, people go into shock. No expectations? They look at me like I'm from another planet. Yes, you can practice and accomplish having no expectations. Because when you popped out of the womb, guess what? You didn't have any expectations. Having expectations is a learned program. Can I say that again for the people in the back? People in the back. Having expectations is a learned program. Good news is whatever you learned, you can unlearn. Let's see. I appreciate any insights you can share with me. Okay, signed, major disappointment. I love that, major disappointment. Ooh, I'm getting chills. And this is how I responded. Oh, geez Louise. Okay, let me share with you what I responded. And then the end of the show, unless somebody wants to come up and and chat with me if you're on Noon Vibe, or if you have a question, you can call me at Blog Talk Radio, area code 646-564-9619, area code 646-564-9619. And here we go. RLN, a.k.a. yours truly, responds. Thank you for sharing so much of your heart and soul. I'm so nice. As always, my intention is to answer your questions with clarity and truth. Many times people don't want to hear or accept the truth, especially if it's about themselves and the choices that they make. But without acknowledging and accepting the truth, you will never be free, you will never be happy. And the truth is found in the mirror. The truth is not found out there in the mirror. The truth is that the truth is that your reaction to what has happened to you is a programmed response. I haven't read this in a long time. Wow. The truth is that your reaction to what happened to you is a programmed response. It's not your fault, though. You were taught at an early age. I just said that. You were taught at an early age to have expectations of people, especially for people you really like. Look around. You can see human programming everywhere. The majority of the world's population has expectations for the people that they love. The problem is that whatever you have expectations for anyone, the feeling of disappointment and heartbreak is right around the corner, waiting to appear, for you to experience. Your email contains a lot of key statements that are clues as to how you've been programmed for unhappiness. Look at how that ties into the title of the book, Program for Unhappiness, now on Amazon. I will attempt to dissect each one. How is it here? This is one of her statements. How is it possible to just stay present when it feels like unlimited potential presents itself? Potential is in the future. I get that. But how is it possible just to stay in the present moment? And I answer, living in the present moment is our own reality. When you live in the past or the future, you are literally wasting your time. Well, there's no such thing as wasting time. Let me scratch that off the book. And subtracting from your happiness. You were not born knowing how to live in the future or dwell in the past. You have always lived when you were younger. Knowing how to live in the future. Yes, the living in the future, living in the past, you didn't know how to do that until you were programmed. You arrived here living in the present moment, but then your parents unknowingly ruined your life and brainwashed you into practicing the same habits. From birth until probably 1 or 2, the future and or the past did not exist in your head. When you get past the age of 3, you're already programmed to look forward to something other than the present moment. It all starts innocently enough with looking forward to your birthday, looking forward to Christmas, looking forward to holidays, summer vacations, or even the first day of school. The program was locked in, this program of looking forward to. I'm done with that. I'm not looking forward to. No, when I have, for an example, when my son comes to visit or I go to visit him or my friends, I'm not, I can't wait till I get there. I'm looking forward to it. No, because when I'm in that state, I'm out of the present moment. Sorry to yell at you. I don't know about you, but no one taught me to appreciate each moment of every day. In fact, I was programmed to look forward to just about everything except the present moment. The practice of living in the present moment is just that. It's a daily practice. And it was only later in my life when I began to realize to prioritize happiness, contentment, and peace that I realized I needed to live in the moment. Did I say realize? No, that was just one time. And now she makes another statement. And when a plan is in place and people are working together for a goal, but then one person bails, well, here we go. You're taking all of that personally. You use 3 words in your email 4 times. The 3 words are, he told me. He told me is interchangeable with fill in the blank. Just because somebody tells you or promises you something doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Now, all you people out there, scratch that, all you program people out there that are bothered when people say something and then they change their mind, if I say something, I'm going to do it. Well, okay, that's good for you. You keep doing you. But there are some people that say they're going to do something and then they don't. Are you making a judgment or you want them to be like you? They say something and then what my job is to do, because I have people in my life like that, I just know my audience. I know who I can count on and I know who I can't. But I'm not going to judge them and say, why don't you change? I have to embrace the flaky people too. Flaky people are human people too. Just because someone tells you or promises you doesn't mean that it's going to happen. It's a hard reality to accept, but the bright side is that when you don't expect people to keep their word, you experience the emotion of gratitude more often when they do keep their promises. Ooh, what a twist. And I'm going to stop there. Let me just go all the way down to the bottom and say what major disappointment described above is exactly how the program masses feel in these moments. Why? Because the majority of people who are reacting and feeling are based on a program like being excited about the future, planning for the future, attaching themselves to possibilities for the future, hoping the future will unfold the way that the ego wants it to unfold, becoming emotionally attached to an outcome, maintaining expectations. There's a lesson to learn from each type of experience. When you find yourself in moments of joy, happiness, elation, excitement, enjoy it all and soak it in while it lasts. Enjoy the moments without attaching an expectation to future moments. To experience more happiness, practice eliminating all expectations. Rejoice quickly and recover quickly. Well, this segment was called Ask Rebecca, and I was the only asking Rebecca any questions, which is different, but A-okay. With that, I am going to, let me say something here. Let me just look at this, because I have a few quotes that are really good that I wanted to share. Oh, let me just share this one. Let me share this one. This is a quote, and of course it doesn't have a name to it. It says, not okay. I am not okay today, so in the absence of okay, what else can I be? I can be gentle. I can be unashamed. I can turn my pain into a connection. I can be a student of stillness. I can be awake to nature. I can sharpen my empathy against the stone of my discomfort. I am not okay, but I am many worthy things. In fact, one of my favorite country singers, Jelly Roll, his song out is now, I am not okay. I am not okay. Come on, Jelly Roll, let's sing together. Let's do a duet together. Yeah. Well, that's the end of today's show. Reality Spirituality is heard every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. My website is RebeccaNorrington.com. Follow me on Twitter at RLNorrington. LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn. My Instagram handle is Reality Spirituality. My YouTube channel is blowing up. I'm just adding more videos. I'm adding more videos. YouTube is Rebecca Norrington. It's still a work in progress, but feel free to check out any of the videos. Oh, listen to this. And nobody's going to hear this because this is at the end. Well, who knows if anybody's going to hear it. This is at the end of the show. I have a new game that I've been playing, and I'm making videos. It's called What Do I Do? And it's crazy. It's wacky. It's the goofiest It's the goofiest idea, but it makes me laugh. I think it's funny, and that's another thing. If you think something is funny, it's funny. Doesn't matter if anyone else doesn't. My first book, Reality Spirituality: The Truth About Happiness, that was published in 2014, is on Amazon, and my current book is called Program for Unhappiness: Exposing the Untold Truth. And in that book, there's 55, well, right now there's 56. I added one at the end. 56 program behaviors that have been proven to subtract from a person's contentment. So the practice is to eliminate one by one, and be aware. Be aware of your behavior. Be conscious of what you're doing. Be conscious of your intention. Do you have an agenda? That's another program that will subtract from your happiness, having an agenda with another person. And that's even, I want to teach them. I want to inspire them. I want them to be better. I want them to, whatever it is, having an agenda with someone else subtracts from your happiness. Until next week, my dear audience, I want you to remember who you are. You are a physical extension of the universe. Your conscious energy, which is always evolving, always changing, always growing. Love is patient and love is kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself by accepting yourself in every moment. Be your own best friend, and remember, this is from Abraham, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality Radio with yours truly, Global Happiness Specialist, Rebecca L. Norrington. That's just my name. That's just the name. That's not who I really am. Get it? Remember, happiness is a practice skill, and I promise you, the more you practice, the more peace you will find, and your peace in your experience, your contentment in any experience reflects on what you practice. The other thing I want to say is practice living in a state of neutrality. Practice living in a state of neutrality where you don't make a judgment, well, this is good or this is bad. Because that good, bad judgment is all coming from the ego, is all human, and it is not true. Now, I can't, and now that the show is over, but my theme song, it's not playing. Oh, my theme song, and I love it so much. But I didn't have any expectations that it would play, so how you like them apples? All right, later, alligators. Stay conscious, live consciously, be aware. Practice, practice, practice. Happiness is a practice skill. Thank you for listening.